Oh, jam! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the TMP Nerf and Buff report. Wow. I'm Chewy. That's Mike.
Hello.
And we are here, as we always are, to tell you about the new balance changes in Hearthstone. These were announced, yesterday? 2 days ago, the 15th.
Yeah.
And they go public on the 18th, so today, because this is going to go up on Monday. So yeah, we've got buffs and nerfs at the same time.
Putting the balance in balance updates.
Right? It's not just, this is too good, let's destroy it. Because they don't actually do that anymore. Remember back in the day when something got nerfed, it got nerfed into the ground?
Yes.
The most egregious example is still Warsong Commander.
I'm still disappointed that they haven't changed her to buff charge rush minions as well.
Or anything other than what she currently is.
Yeah.
Another nerf to the ground was that I recently remembered was the vulture.
Oh, when it went to 5 mana.
Yeah, because it used to
Yeah.
cost, I think, 3,
Or 2 or something stupid. Maybe 3.
and they buffed it. They buffed its mana cost up to 5 for a 3/2 that draws you some cards. And it just wasn't a thing. And Pinball Witch through 300 bits says, "Yay buffs! Let me buff Chewy's wallet while nerfing my own." See, that's the Hearthstone way. Thank you. So yeah, for a long, long time they just never buffed cards. And then they did the one big event where they buffed a bunch of cards from the Boomsday Project.
Yes.
And is that it? Have there been any buffs since then? My memory is not working for this sort of thing.
I thought there have been small ones.
Okay. You're probably right. They're just not.
Did they reverse some nerfs? Some of them were reversed nerfs, but I can't remember if there were other just straight out buffs.
That is true. They did unnerf some things. Mostly some things that were about to go to wild anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, oh yeah, and Sludge Slurper.
Yeah, Sludge Slurper.
Yeah.
I remember when he got nerfed, I was like, okay.
Yeah. So, but now, in this patch, we've got nerfs and buffs at the same time. But we're going to start with the nerfs because, it's what we do.
Yeah.
All right, so, nope. Wait, hang on. There we go. All right, so we have 8 cards that are getting nerfed. First up is one that I'm sure makes Mike happy, the Priestess of Fury. He's going from a 6 mana 6/7, a 7 mana 6/7 to a 7 mana 6/5.
Yes. So I'm happy about that because, especially since, they addressed what I perceived as the biggest problem. So maybe I'm right that was the biggest problem about it. Because 7 health. And I don't know whether, I know I've talked about this plenty of times with Chewy on and off the stream. At 7 health, not even Siamat can deal with Priestess of Fury. And that's saying something.
Yeah, that's ridiculous when the obvious answer that slower decks might have is not an answer. So
yeah, 5 health is much more reasonable to deal with it. So it's not just, having 6 attack, it's still a massive beating if you aren't able to deal with it. But
plus, she still got the reason you play her or her end of turn trigger. So that's good? Question mark. But yeah, she's She's been probably the most egregious card in Demon Hunter
Yeah,
since the last round of buffs. She was really the only egregious card left, I think.
and especially with Fell Color or whatever it's called, a lot of times Priestess of Fury is coming down on 5. Not all the time, but
Yeah.
enough to matter. And having 7 health makes it especially impossible to deal with if it's coming down on 5. So this is much more reasonable. I like it. It's still a good card. It's still worth playing. I'm still going to play it in my Demon Hunter deck.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
I don't think this makes it unplayable by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, a good chunk of the time anyway, at least in for my games, a Priestess of Fury didn't live past the first turn. And if it did, it just cost them a lot of resources or a kill spell in hand, or they lost. Like, so, like, most of the time, if on the rare occasion I'm even playing Demon Hunter, when I play a Priestess of Fury, it's to get the 6 damage, and I expect her to die. So for me personally, this makes literally no difference. On the other side of the table, this makes me real happy because now she's just slightly easier to kill. Like, the number of times where I've had Siamet in hand and I'm looking at a Priestess of Fury and I go, thanks. It's just ridiculous. So, yeah, I guess with that, you're supposed to rush Divine Shield and hope that it sucks up some of the damage and then they can't kill it. I don't know. It's not good. But now, 5 health, you just blam! Ha!
Yeah.
Plus Fireball. Plus
Fireball.
Like the guy, the glaive, the 4 damage 6/4.
Yeah, the War Master. Is that what it's
whatever.
called? Glaive Master?
Glaive Master?
Glaive Master.
Glaive. I can't remember the names of these damn cards. You know the one we mean. You can do that and then hit it with something, an eye beam or a with
or even your face. Yeah.
So, yeah. I think this keeps all of the offense and makes it slightly easier to deal with. But since they already got the end of turn trigger, it's still fine, right?
Yeah.
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 No problem. All right, next up we've got the Crimson Sigil Runner. This little bastard, the 1 mana 2/1 outcast, draw a card, will be a 1 mana 1/1 outcast, draw a card. Which, thank goodness.
I mean, I can't say I was expecting this. Like, my reaction to this is sort of like the Sludge Slurpers. Like, was that such a problem? Maybe, I guess, maybe.
Oh yeah, and it's because it's because the little 1 mana draw card bastard trades with all of your 2-drops. Almost all of your 2-drops.
Yeah, a lot.
And if it doesn't trade with it, it still lets you like hit it with your face to finish it. After this trades into it. So it was just too much tempo and card draw and ability to trade. Yeah, I have been more frustrated with the Crimson Sigil Runner than with the Priestess in a while. Or for a while, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as a 1/1, now the card draw is all it does now.
Yeah. And good, because that means...
Unless, like, you want to play... Unless it's in that... I know there's supposed to be this token build for Demon Hunter. I don't see it very often. But I guess it's still good for that, but...
That's true, yeah.
Conventional Demon Hunter, the card draw is all it does now. Who knows whether that's worthwhile? Sometimes I'm sure it is, especially the combo kill Demon Hunter.
Oh yeah, which I haven't seen a combo kill Demon Hunter in a long time now.
I played one yesterday morning. That was the first one
Really?
I've seen in weeks. Yeah. Hmm.
Huh. Okay. Uh, Personally, I'm thinking that this might come out of the aggressive decks
Hmm.
in favor of I don't know, the Spectral Sight. Is that the draw two?
Yeah, that's the draw two.
Because now you're
There's
getting.
also that 2/1 that dies into a 2/1 in your hand. Lost Soul, whatever it's called.
I think that's Lost Soul. I don't know if the aggressive decks really care about the 2/1 body as much as the card draw.
Hmm.
Hmm. I don't know. But the important thing is it stops it from just being an auto include in all the decks. Because now,
It does.
as Mike
Yes.
said, it's just the card draw.
Hmm.
So it could be that this could be what weakens, and this is pie in the sky, not even this just came to me, so I haven't put any thought into this, but this could
Hmm.
be a thing that weakens the aggro tempo, whatever you want to call it, Demon Hunter just enough for that other build to maybe start showing up.
Hmm.
Because I've been hit with the 3 rush guys and the thing that pops 3 damage whenever a friendly minion dies.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? Like, it has never not completely wrecked me.
Oh, I believe it. That's
Ever.
awful.
No matter what I'm playing, it just completely wrecks me.
Gosh.
So I'm actually hoping that if we make a not obviously best Demon Hunter deck,
Hmm.
then maybe that'll open up the class a little bit. Oh yeah, Urzul Horror makes a
That's
lost
right.
soul.
Mhm.
That's what it is. Okay. Thank you, chat. It's all right. Now, oddly enough, that's it for Demon Hunter nerfs. Like, oh, what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was much else in the. I can't think of anything else in the class that I still find obviously offensive. Not like offensive as in aggro, offensive as in morally offensive.
Yeah. So let's see here. If we go to HS replay, go away. Demon Hunter is currently sitting at a 54.6% win rate with its most popular deck, which is ridiculous, but not like ridiculous. Like, that's just
Yeah,
really good.
yeah, that's not
Uh,
a reason.
the next one looks to be various hunter decks. Huh. I wonder if there are any hunter nerfs. Oh, look, a hunter nerf. What? So, if we check this out, we've got Scavenger's Ingenuity. 2 mana discover. No, draw a beast. Not discover a beast. Draw a beast, give it +3/+3 is going to be 2 mana, draw a beast, give it +2/+2.
Mm,
And this one, I believe, is because on curve, the win percentage jump between having this and not having this is kind of ridiculous.
yeah,
This is my anecdotal experience, but I've had people go coin Scavenger's Ingenuity, turn 2, 5/6 Phase Stalker, and I'm like, I guess I lose.
yeah. I 5/6 face stalker is not cool.
Yeah. And not only that, but the Diving Griffin becomes a 7/4
Yes.
on turn with Rush. That draws a card on turn 3.
Hmm.
What's the other beast I have in the damn
The
deck?
lion is the 8/4.
Yeah, the lion becomes an 8/4, and if you've got a porcupine handy, then it does lots of damage.
Hmm.
The porcupine itself becomes a 5/7.
Yes.
Like, it's just too much, especially with not only that, but the stupid boar.
Yeah.
It's a one
I got
mana
hit with that
4/4
the other
with
day.
charge.
And I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Like there, I actually ran into a combo deck that played Stone Tusk Boar, Scavenger's Ingenuity, Scrap Shot, and a lot of ways to copy beasts in hand,
Uh-huh.
and then up and kill you. And I up and died, and I was like, and it was for like exactsies when I was at, I was above 30.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going, how? No?
That's not right. That's not right at all.
So yeah. I think I really do believe that the one mana 4/4 with rush, with charge, and just the played on curve win percentage jump for Scavenger's Ingenuity is just it's just too good.
Yep.
That's my theory, because by itself, like, it looks really good, but not insane. But no, it's pretty insane. Like in practice when you actually play it.
Yeah, especially when you can build a deck to only draw one of a couple things, which is harder than Hunter because there's so many beast minions in the class, but still, it's possible. And it's silly.
So the next
Anything that says draw an X, you can build something goofy around to only draw X every time.
Oh yeah. Do you remember the King Crush combo decks that popped up right when the set released?
Oh no, I guess I didn't see that.
Oh man, you hope to draw
Uh-huh.
Scavenger's Ingenuity before King Crush, and then you draw King Crush, and then you copy beasts in your hand, and then you play King Leorox.
Mm-hmm.
And drop all of your King Crushes and hit them in the face. It's hilarious. It's also not consistent at all, which is why it didn't last past the first couple weeks of the format.
Yeah.
But damn.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of things have to go your way for it to work at all.
All right, so next up we've got some rogue cards.
Yeah.
Shadow Jeweler Hanar is going from a 1/5 to a 1/4, and I'm okay with this.
So am I.
Because
Costing 2, having 5 health is a lot. Costing 2, having 5 health is a lot to deal with, especially when, if he lives, you can just, start making Paladin secrets to keep him safe.
yeah, it's plus, for some reason, my opponents, if their Shadow Jeweler Hanar stays alive, I just lose. But then, if my Shadow Jeweler Hanar stays alive, I just delay my loss. I don't know what's I was pretty good with Tempo Rogue before rotation. I've not gotten the hang of the new one. So good riddance, because every time my Shadow Jeweler Hanar lives for like 2 or 3 turns, and I get so many secrets, I'm like, I'm gonna win, and I lose. I'm like, no, I don't. I feel huh. So yeah, I'm good with this. Plus, chat points out when Jeweler is just being played on turn 2 for tempo. Yeah, right. Don't even have a secret in hand. You just play it because it's a 1/5 with soft taunt. That takes 2 turns to kill. Anyway, so that's that.
And at that point, there's plenty of things it can trade with the help from the knife.
It's true. It doesn't even die to the boar.
And it still won't, because the boar is one smaller.
Son of a bitch. So another rogue nerf is the Blackjack Stunner. Instead of being a freezing trap, bouncing a minion. If you have a secret, it bounces the minion. and that minion costs 2 more. Now it bounces a minion and it costs 1 more, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, freezing trap still exists, but with this one you get to choose exactly what you affect, so that makes it more powerful.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a hell of a tempo swing, especially if you have both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, bounce that and bounce that, and then you've just wrecked your opponent's whole day.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, bounce that, it costs 1 more is still big.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not stupid. It also no longer turns off 9-cost minions if you bounce them.
Which has happened to me.
Oh yeah.
It's very discouraging.
It still turns off 10-cost minions,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, that's what you get for playing 10-cost minion, I guess. That was always the case
Mm-hmm.
with a 10-cost minion and freezing trap, so yeah, I think this is just a small hit to the power level. Just because it's so good. Again, now remember, this is a balance patch. They're actually... So most of these nerfs hit like the top 4 classes, which are currently Demon Hunter, Warrior, Hunter, Rogue. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the buffs are for the bottom 2 classes, and then there's the Imprisoned Scrap Imp, which we'll get to in just a second.
Yeah.
So I think this is just trying to, like, instead of having this up here, this down here, it's trying to go and bring them slightly, not like to where everything's even, but just trying to make it so that if, like, Demon Hunter and Warrior get nerfed, that Rogue doesn't suddenly become the boogeyman. That's my guess. Yeah. And the Shadow Jeweler Hanar and Blackjack Stunner nerfs, I think, are just that. They're just tweaking some numbers. See how that affects the meta. Yeah. Sorry, then we got the Imprisoned Scrap Imp here, which
Yeah, I don't have a good read on. I feel like I haven't even played a Warlock in a long time.
you might
Like
not
a
have.
Warlock opponent. Mm-hmm.
But if you played against one that had a turn 1 or 2 Scrap Imp, you lost. So yeah, it's dormant for 2 turns. When it awakens, give all minions in your hand +2/+2. Now it's +2/+1. Just because. I really believe that this one, even more so than the Scavenger's Ingenuity, is because the win percentage when played on curve for this is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And the kind of decks it would go in, health is cheaper than power when it comes to how things are. Health is cheaper than attack when it comes to how things are costed. So there's plenty of cheap minions that have good health, and +2 power and +2 health means they can trade for a lot more mana's worth of cards on the other side of the board.
Oh yeah. Like, there's a big difference between a 5/4 Flame Imp and a 5/3 Flame Imp.
A big difference.
And that's the case for everything. This card is just too good when played on curve in the proper deck, and I'm pretty sure that's why this is just to, rather than make it +2/+0 and make it worthless, not worthless, but not good.
Yeah.
They're just gonna knock a point off of toughness just so it's not so insanely hard to deal with.
It feels similar to what they did with the Murloc War Leader, whatever his name is. Remember, he used to give +2/+1 for a long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's +2/+0 because Murlocs Phew, Murlocs. That's why there's an entirely separate card that
Murlocs aren't
buffs.
supposed to be sturdy. Yeah.
Right. That's why there's an entirely separate card that buffs Murloc's health. Or now there's the one that gives them all +1/+1, but it costs more.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, I can see this being fair, even though I haven't played against a Warlock in a while.
yeah. And yeah, that's another thing. Chat pointed out that the Imprisoned Scrap Imp owned Masters, the Masters tournament the other week.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude just mulliganed aggressively for Scrap Imp and played it as soon as possible.
Mhm.
And had I don't remember what the win rate of that deck was, but it was not good for a Masters tournament. Like it was,
Okay.
and when I say not good, I mean not healthy for the Masters tournament.
All right, I didn't know that. Dang.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the Scrap Imp. It's just individually too damn good. All right, now the Warrior nerfs. So I'm consistently amazed when I see people in like the Discord server say, "I played against a Warrior. I haven't even seen a Warrior in forever." And I'm like, "Really?" I'm so
Like,
sick of
all the time. Yeah.
what's a frisky stripper that I could throttle somebody. I totally stole that from Spivey of 1600 Dust. He called it frisky stripper once while talking to me, and I almost died. So, yeah. So the Blood Boiled Brute, the 7 mana 6/8 with rush that costs 1 less for each damaged minion, is going to be a 5/8, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Just changing the class of things that it can kill in one shot.
Exactly. Yeah, because with the what's the card's actual name? I keep calling it Frisky Stripper. Risky Skipper, is that it?
Skipper.
There we go. But yeah, with Risky Skipper and well, just with Risky Skipper, Blood Boil Brute can get down to costing, 2 and 3
Yeah.
easily. And so just make it so it can't by itself one shot a I don't know, a Siamat. It can still kill a priestess, though.
Yes.
Actually, no, it can newly kill a priestess. It never could before.
Yeah. It couldn't before. Yeah.
So, yeah, this is just knocking a few percentage points off of its effectiveness, I think. I think it's still an amazingly good card. Yeah. Just sort of shaving it down some. And then this last one made me actually say, wait, what? Out loud. Bloodsworn Mercenary, 3 mana 3/3 that copies a damaged friendly minion. It's now going to be a 3 mana 2/2.
I get
Okay.
that. They still wanted to have that effect, but that can be a pretty big effect. So getting a square stat minion to go along with it was just too much.
True. I guess. I can't remember the last time my Bloodsworn Mercenary survived. But that's just me. I don't actually play the Warrior deck very often because it's until you practice hard with it, it's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
get that impression.
I don't want to play it until I get up to like Diamond and hit like a floor. I still haven't managed to hit Diamond yet.
Because I get, I think I'm in Diamond right now, and like I get walloped by Warrior players in Diamond, but I was running over them when they weren't even there. When I was starting back the season up again. So yeah, I get that it's difficult to play right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I see what you mean. It doesn't, as chat just pointed out, it doesn't change the combo potential of the Bloodsworn Mercenary, but it does make it to where it's not as much of just a good tempo play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you put it that way, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's a very good point. You can't just run out the 3/3 on the third turn because You want to keep your tempo up.
Yeah, well, not even that, but like going skipper, armor smith, copy the armor smith,
Mm-hmm.
and still have all of this board and all of this armor. You know, the 3-2 that you get from doing that is nice.
Yeah.
But now it'll be a 2-1, which is not as nice.
Yes. Still
So,
nicer
yeah.
than a 1-1.
Do it.
I said still nicer than a 1-1.
Very true, yeah. All right. So let's go. Those are the nerfs. Like I said, the top 4 classes of Demon Hunter, Warrior, Hunter, and Rogue all took hits, some bigger than others. Scrap Imp, as an individually powerful card, took a hit. And now let's go see the buffs, because the buffs are for the 2 bottom classes of the meta currently. First up, we've got our single Paladin buff, the Aldor Attendant. This is a buff. Don't fool yourself. From a 2-mana 2/3 that reduces the cost of your Librams this game by 1, to a 1-mana 1/3 that reduces the cost of your Librams this game. That's ridiculous.
1 mana 1/3 is nice, especially if it does something.
Yeah. And now next turn, you can just drop a whatever the Libram's called on it, and you've got a 2/4.
Mm-hmm.
But
a 2/4 that's going to give you the Libram back when it dies. That's
exactly. It's this is like deceptively powerful. The difference in having to, because right now, what does Paladin have at the 1-drop slot? It's not much. It's
the Dormant Murloc.
It's mostly the Dormant Murloc, exactly. And so this gives it something to do on the first turn, which is huge in a world where the Murloc Paladin deck exists, and the aggressive Demon Hunter deck exists, and the Face Hunter deck exists.
Mm-hmm.
This is big. Plus, it's 1 turn earlier for your Libram cost reduction. And yeah, I love it. I can't wait for the buffs to hit just so I can try another Libram Paladin deck, because I always thought it was almost there, but just not quite.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this is enough to push it over, but it's gonna help.
I forget. Were you trying to do pure Libram too, or?
I went back and forth.
Okay.
Once I had the Pyromancer Libram of Justice played against me, I dropped the pure thing. Because that made my jaw drop.
Mm-hmm.
And my jaw dropped so hard that I hit myself in the crotch. And that's painful. But not as painful as Pyromancer Libram of Justice for a one-sided board wipe. That's way worse. So yeah. Plus, Paladin already has a deck that's doing well right now. It's Murloc Paladin, which is actually a thing. Drives me up the damn wall, but it's actually a thing. And yeah,
but it's
Kovo
not
in the
good
chat.
for a class to only have one viable deck.
Exactly. Yeah, Kovo in the chat also just said, I'm so frustrated with Paladin because it's got so many cool pieces that just don't fit together. Exactly. And so, yeah, hopefully this will help.
Mm-hmm.
But then, poor Shaman. Like, only Brian Kibler has been able to make Shaman do anything. But Brian Kibler could hit Legend with an arena deck, I'm pretty sure. So, Shaman got 3 buffs here. Mike really liked this one. Torrent goes from 5 mana, deal 8 damage. They cost 3 less if you cast a spell last turn, which means it costs 2 to do 8 damage if you cast a spell last turn, to a 4 mana base cost. So now if you cast a spell last turn, it costs 1.
I was surprised to see that. I thought it was already good.
Right? Like, I don't understand this one. Like, Sludge Slurper I didn't understand because it seemed out of place. I'm like, what does
Uh,
that even do? This one I don't understand because this is already a pretty good card.
yeah. I mean, they took down Priestess of Fury's health. It could already kill Priestess of Fury. Um,
Yeah.
I get, but like,
I don't know. Clearly they thought this was something that was necessary. I guess so it's not as bad to play if you didn't cast a spell last turn, maybe? But I mean, Flame
yeah,
Lance was in Mage that literally was just 5 mana, deal 8, but that was a long time ago.
that was a long time ago.
So, I don't know. But hey, 1 mana, deal 8 sounds pretty good to me.
Hmm.
It'll kill all those mountain... Oh. I made myself sad.
Well, we still have Sea Giant to beat up on.
That is true, yeah. Yeah. Next.
Sea Giant still played. I still play Sea Giant, I think. Yes. In my Warlock, Zoo, Galakron, whatever.
Mike's nonsense deck.
Hmm.
Is it a keyword? Throw it in.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Shattered Rumbler, which is the... I like the way that they're not showing the fixed version on the website here.
I guess because it hasn't gone live yet.
What? No, the fixed version is in the card text.
Hmm.
So it's a 5. It was a 5 mana 4/6 elemental. It says battle cry. If you cast a spell last turn, deal 2 damage to all other minions. And it says that in game now. I'm pretty sure is all other minions.
Oh, that. Okay, I forgot they had to fix that too.
Yeah.
I
But-
didn't get what you're talking about. Okay.
Now it'll be a 5/6 and 5 mana 5/6. That's good. And then an AOE on top of that. That's good.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't get this one either. Honestly. Is it like what is it about a 2
I
mana
guess they
AOE?
just figured it needed a little push. Maybe they did Torrent and Shattered Rumbler together just to give that type of Shaman deck a little push. They thought it needed to be better.
Could be because you don't really see the if you cast a spell last turn shaman. I don't even know what you call that.
Hmm.
And the other one, the creature, is already good
Hmm. Yeah.
as a 3 mana 3/4, right?
Yes.
Like it doesn't even matter what it does. It's a 3 mana 3/4. It's fine. But okay, anything to help.
Mhm.
Ooh, I know. It's so if this survives the priestess, it can kill it by itself.
It was also pointed out in chat that it makes it worth playing without the bonus sometimes too if you need it. You don't feel as bad.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, 5 mana 4/6 is like, Actually, it's not. That's not bad either, though.
It's not bad, but it's not.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great.
You still feel like I missed out.
That's true.
Now you feel comfortable. It's like, okay, I don't feel so bad about missing out on the effect.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm just thinking of like a 4 mana 3/6, and I'm super happy with that. But you're right. At 5 mana 4/6, that one extra point of attack is just kind of hooray.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. So 5 mana 5/6. That's true. It is a better tempo play. Just to drop when you're ahead and don't want to wipe your own board, or when you're not behind
Right.
and just want to play a minion. I get it. And then finally, we've got the Lurker Below, who goes from a 6 mana 6/3 beast that deals 3 damage to an enemy minion. If it dies, repeat on one of its neighbors. So you get the, if you set up the board properly, you get the that runs across the entire board and feels really good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's going from a 6-3 to a 6-5 because, yeah, the effect is really good, but it just dies.
Yeah, at that stage in the game, having 3 toughness is extremely fragile. It might as well just be a spell, you know?
Yeah. And for 6 mana, so for 6 mana, you can deal a maximum of 21 damage with this thing, right?
Right.
And it's a 6-3, which means if someone looks at it funny, it dies. Whereas Reno, for 6 mana, is a 4-6 that deals 10 with no effort. Like, you don't have to set anything up.
Yeah.
It just does 10. And then tanks damage.
That's a good point.
Like, I can sort of see where they would want to flip that and make Shaman more aggressive. But
yeah, I guess with Reno, like, you don't have to set up the board. You don't have to have a nicely set up board, but you have to build your deck weird. But still, the Highlander restriction isn't too big of an ask in this game.
Not really, no. So, yeah, I'm super excited about Lurker Below because I always loved Lurker Below. Like, I remember when we previewed it, we were like, "Holy crap!" And I'm really happy.
2 times I've played against a Lurker Below, I got absolutely ruined by it.
Exactly.
It's just been the 2 times.
Oh man, I was playing a friendly game against somebody for 80 gold. You know the 80 gold quest.
Yes.
And I had was I playing Priest? I think I was playing Priest and they were playing Shaman. And I managed to snag their Lurker Below with something.
Oh.
And they had a Lurker Below too. And somehow they were able to figure out that I had a Lurker Below. And like, so we were both playing around each other's Lurker Below. It was so cool. It was a hell of a game. It was one of those where I wish I had somehow been recording it while I was sitting in the living room on my phone, you know? Because it was a really good game, and it was all because we both had a Lurker Below and knew the other person had it too. Anyway. So, yeah. Go away. So Shaman gets 3 buffs. 1 seems completely unnecessary. 1 is just feels good, and the other one is an actual power increase with the Lurker Below. And then Paladin gets this amazing tempo buff here. Whew. And then we've got the top 4 classes and Scrap Imp taking nerfs. Oh, and also, for those of you that play Wild, Ethereal Conjurer no longer locks the game state when played. That's a hell of a bug.
Yeah, glad I didn't experience that, but I'm glad they figured it out.
Yeah. It's like, what do you mean? Oh, there we go. What do you mean lock the game state? What? So, hey, good job on that one. So, what do we think overall here?
Feels good. Like, I'm also encouraged to try more Paladin stuff to see what that change to the attendant does. I'll be glad that I'm definitely glad that the Priestess does not have 7 health.
Yeah. Look at her, just sitting there mocking us.
But no, yeah, these all feel pretty reasonable, I think, and I think they'll be helpful.
Yeah. So it's weird. Like they just showed the Ethereal Conjurer as a 5 mana 6/3. It makes me wonder if that card were printed now, or if the same team in charge now was in charge then, if the Ethereal Conjurer would have survived as is. You know what I mean? But like, like on the one hand, I can see the complaint. People are like, well, they're changing cards all the time, man. But also on the other hand, there were a lot of long stretches of Hearthstone history that were just miserable to play because the meta got super stale, or there was one deck that made everything awful.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like that the current Hearthstone team is trying to keep that from happening. Like, this is the third balance patch we've had since this set released, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. And at the moment, there's not even anything terribly broken. It's just moderately stale.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, like I said earlier, I haven't even hit Diamond yet because I'm only playing to do my dailies. I'm not like playing for fun. I'm like, oh, I've got 3 dailies piled up. I better knock these out. And I'll play enough games to do those, and I might play some more after that, but not for very long.
I think I said I was at Diamond earlier. That's wrong. I'm in Platinum. I was misspeaking.
Look at you.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I wasn't not playing because it was bad, but I'm not playing because it's not super interesting, if that makes sense. Because I know I'm gonna see the top 4 classes, and I might see a priest.
Yeah.
And then the others are sort of, oh, look, a shaman. How about that?
Yeah.
And
if I see a priest, that means whatever other slow deck that I've chosen to play is just going to lose. Because it can't generate more value than the priest can.
there's that, yeah. So, like, I really like that when there's a problem, they're trying to fix it, and now they're tweaking things to try to make things a little bit better. But now I'm afraid that they might have spoiled me, and I'm getting bored with the format and sort of just coasting along until the next patch when I dive back in.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if I'm affected that way. I wonder if others are too. You know what I mean?
I'm certain. Yes.
But that's still better than I don't want to play
that way before this happened.
Wait, say that again?
I'm certain many more were affected than just that way before you started noticing it for yourself.
That could be. But I'm really glad that rather than, well, we'll just ride it out for another 2 months until the set comes out, they're like, oh, and they fix it. Like, that makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, before the original Hearthstone team were so afraid to change cards that they just didn't. They would just let things be awful and only change things when it got really bad.
Yeah.
And the current dev team is not doing that. And I honestly think at this stage in Hearthstone's life, especially, that's better. You don't... Like, I feel like the original dev team was more worried about people who show up and play and then stop playing and then come back and they don't recognize anything and leaving again. And you'd think you'd rather keep the people that are currently playing and new players that come in to keep them playing rather than try to cater to the people who walked away and might come back. You know? Like, that was the thing that they said. If someone...
They were gun shy from the WoW community. I'm sure they got a lot of that type of feedback.
I don't know.
From people coming back and too much has changed. Like, oh, it was terrible.
I guess. I don't know. That was one of the things that they said. Like, well, we don't want things to be completely alien to people who come back to the game. We're like, well, they already left once. Screw them. Like, all those people are like, I'm gonna quit playing this game. All right. And then if you come back later, like, I'm still gonna quit again. Well, you already don't count. But that's just me.
And if they quit playing just because they weren't all that invested or interested in it, then will they care when they come back? That things are different.
Yeah.
No, they didn't really care about how it was the first time, so Why would they care the second?
Yeah. Now, I'm not trying to throw off on the Hearthstone dev team. I love what they do. I've been playing this game since the first expansion, and still play it at the very least every other day. So, I'm not like Hearthstone, a new dev team back in my day. None of that. And I'm not throwing off on all those old OK Boomer. They were doing it wrong back then. They were doing it right for what they thought. But I prefer and think it's better for the game the way they're doing it now.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a shame that Magic is a paper game because they could just change stuff if it wasn't. Hey, look, Hearthstone. You know what they did when they realized that Gen and Baku were gonna wreck the entire format for another year? They just rotated them early. Anyway. So, yeah, that's the 17.2.1. That's a mouthful balance patch that will, like I said, hopefully, if you're seeing this on Monday, which you should, will hopefully go live today. Because it says on May 18th, so that would be today. Yay!
Yay!
So I'm excited. Maybe I will stop seeing Demon Hunter every other game and it'll drop to every third game. That would be nice.
Maybe.
So, yeah. But with that, I guess we'll be done. Anything else, Mike?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, in that case, thank you all so very much for joining us, and go play some Hearthstone.